I think my buddy Jared Seymour, he has that, the Brown Water Boys.
Yes.
And we share a lot of our gear, like our ideas. And that's how we mess with each other now. Like we trash talk each other, but they started going live, and then he was like, he wanted his cameras, their cameras wasn't great, so they used our cameras. And then Jared's like, you need to go live, because it cuts down a lot of our editing time.
Right.
Once we do this show, it's out.
Right.
Like me and you're done. Like 5 minutes later, I'll send this whole thing out. And it's just one of the things where you're live. There's no editing.
There's no editing.
And I got a lot of ands and ums.
Oh, you will. Huh? You will with me.
Oh, like. The you had a good day?
Yeah. Today was good.
You look a little sunburned.
Yeah, I was out working on the boat trailer all morning.
What'd you have to change?
And then we went to the pool. Went to Bayou Bluff pool.
Is that a nice pool?
It is.
I didn't know they had a pool.
They do. I don't play tennis.
I think I went to a Joel Carter campaign there. I believe it was a Joel Carter campaign.
Very possible.
It was at nighttime though. I didn't look for a pool.
Right.
I looked for the bar.
And that's all torn down right now.
Bar is?
They tore the whole building down.
They had some good bourbons.
They tore the whole building down. They've got a tiki bar now out by the pool. So other than that, they've got the big, it's like almost like a double wide trailer really that they cook in and have the bar in up front. But
you ever think the bar's coming back?
Oh yeah, it's already framed up. They're building a new building.
It's gonna be a bigger bar?
Yep. Bigger bar, bigger kitchen, bigger dining room, everything.
What's the membership on?
I think it's $1,400 a year. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Are you a member?
I am.
And you don't even know?
No.
Is that what real estate's like?
Marcella pays for it.
Oh, it's like that?
It's like that.
So she pays all the bills?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I just make the money. She pays them.
That's why she drives the bigger truck.
True.
That makes sense.
Anytime I need my man card back, I just borrow her truck.
Well, you get that new Cadillac SUV though.
Yeah, it's nice.
I love the way they look.
I do too.
Because I miss, told Emily, I miss our little CTS. We had a little CTS, 2016, I think it was. I miss it. All right, guys, we're going to go to this intro, and then we're going to get started with Randy Richardson, the real estate legend.
Oh my God.
I got the yellow ribbon. So, it's okay.
How many times did you sit back just relaxing? Understand movements coming in, yeah, we got the packs in. I don't really want to see no more traffic. Last pack just came in, let's get it out quick.
I had a heart.
Wanna be okay, wanna be alright.
Where's the number of
Wanna see the world.
Yeah. Good on gas?
Yeah. It's got a little 2.0 turbo. But I'll be honest, the reason I got it is my little girl starts driving in 3 years. So
that's hers.
It'll be paid off and it'll be hers. And it's got like teen driver mode and all kinds of stuff on it. So,
all right, guys, welcome to Kathy and Susie's Kids. I'm Jordan, and I'm here with Randy Richardson, Part 2, real estate agent of the coast. Gulfport, Christian Motorsports, you know who he is. If you need a house, this is this guy for you. And he's been on before, so we're going to get started in this. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. Definitely want to know what's going on in the market. We got some upcoming events. We kind of sit on a board together, what you call Carter's Champions. And we're kind of neighbors, so we live not too far. We live on the island. So
close enough. I brought my golf cart.
And that's a nice golf cart. No, so let's get into your new car that's going to be your daughter's. That's one of them. It's a sharp little CTS SUV, and it puts
XT4 is what it's called.
And
Cadillac.
You can put like real estate signs in. What do you call them signs?
Absolutely, the real estate signs.
That's what they're called.
Yeah, sold signs. I like to call them sold, even though they're not sold yet when I put them up, but they do sell.
What does it feel like? Because I mean, let's go into how'd you I kind of know about the story of how'd you get into real estate?
Oh man, happenstance, kind of. I was at Coca-Cola for 13 years and drove a Coke truck and did everything else for Coca-Cola, and ended up having a internal staph infection in my neck. So I had a C2 through C7 they cut, called a laminectomy. And I was out of work for about 3.5 years and always had interest in real estate, but never had the guts, for lack of better terms, to go after it.
Is it called confidence?
Well, that too.
I feel like you need confidence for everything.
Yeah. But I ended up, I ended up enrolling in the class, and I took the test, passed, and got my real estate license and never looked back.
I remember when you first got into it, I seen you, you listed a mobile home. Was that one of your first?
Let's see. No, my first house was over in St. Martin. Marcella actually worked with a lady at Shaggy's, and she needed to sell her house. So as soon as I got in, I think it was my first 2 or 3 days in, I looked at Jason, my transaction coordinator at the time, and I said, "Hey man, I got somebody who wants to list a house. What do I do?" And he said, "Well, so he went with me to the listing agreement and listing presentation and did all that.
So you had no idea how to
I
sell a
had
house.
no clue.
So let's go into me.
When I say green, I was green. I didn't have a clue as to what was going on.
Well, like when I started selling cars, which is similar, it's sales. You're in sales, right? And when I was selling cars, I had no idea how to sell a car, but I knew that they told me, said, "Hey, go up to the manager." They're like, just if you got somebody, bring it to the manager. That's their job, is to sell. And I remember my first day, I grabbed 3 people and I was just like, "Come with me, hey, come with me." And we're close, and I closed them, and that was the rush.
Right.
And that's when sales were like, I don't know, it's addictive.
My deal with real estate is I really enjoy it. And I think that's part of the reason I've been successful is I do enjoy it. I really thrive on somebody that wants to sell their house or needs to sell their house, or somebody that's looking for their dream home, or, just now home or whatever. I just try to get them to that next stage in their life. And it really brings joy to me when I can put the puzzle pieces together.
When your first year, how many houses did you sell? You know this.
No, I don't own the first year because it was only half a year. I started in May. So I think I did 14, maybe 16 transactions, but easily doubled pretty much per year. And I've been in it for about 6 years. So last year, I've started a team. So me and Ashley Neely at the time were the only 2 people on the team, and we closed, I think, 82 transactions last year. 82 properties.
And now do you count like listing too?
Yeah, that's listings or buyers.
Okay. So if you list, it's 3% your way, no matter what, right? How's that work?
It depends. It just depends on sometimes it's 6% split. Sometimes it's 5% split. So it all just depends on the transaction and what the property is. Sometimes it could be 8% if it's 8 or 10, if it's commercial or land.
And you got Natalie joined you too, right?
So we just switched over to Century 21, Jake Arter and Company.
Never heard of that place.
No plug there.
Never heard of them.
But we did. We switched over to them, and we joined Michelle Patterson and Natalie Holcomb. So now we have 5 on the 4th right team.
5?
4 people on the 4th right team. So
You think is this? Holly said Harrison Realty. They came on. Holly said, "What's
I saw
up?"
their episode.
Yeah, she goes, "Hey, Jordan and Randy, 140 years in the business." So real estate is a big thing.
It is.
Do you like having the team though?
I do. I like it because not only do you have people that help, as far as that goes, and that you can help, but you can also train and be able to grow other people as well as your business. In my mind, it's what it's done for me.
Has this been done before? I have no clue
absolutely.
about real estate.
Absolutely. It's basically a small brokerage in a brokerage.
Okay.
So you have one broker leader, and then you have people that work as buyer's agents or seller's agents, or they do both underneath the broker.
Yeah, I went and did the real estate test. Remember when I called you about it?
Yep.
Was going to go work with John and them, and I went through the class, and it just wasn't for me.
Right.
And I knew it. And I'm that type of person. If I went in there and I was just like, mm-mm. And Jake and John understood, and because I don't want to waste your time if I don't really like it. But with insurance, with us having Golden Gulf Insurance Services, I went in there and yanked that test in 40 minutes. And was like, can I take another? You know, and it's fun, you know, but I enjoy doing it with Matt, but that's something I'm probably going to stay in.
Yeah.
I just knew in the real estate, it's not for everybody.
No, it's not.
And you got to have the grind, and you got to be a therapist, and you got to be a lot of moving parts. And
I feel like I'm a bartender, a marriage counselor, a therapist,
a creditor.
Yep. So there's a lot of moving parts to it. A lot of moving parts.
I mean,
And anybody that's in real estate will tell you that, because a lot of times people think, hold on. A lot of time people think that it's easy because they see it from the outside.
yeah.
So they, you know, no matter how easy you make it look, possibly, it may not be as easy as it seems.
And you got to have tough skin too, because you get people excited about a house
100%.
they get a look at, and you know, you got to like, if the contract doesn't go through, if there's something wrong with the house, the you know, the funding. I mean,
I had a deal, the probably the most stressful deal I've had was late last year. I had a deal. It was a $900,000 house, and we were under contract, and it ended up falling apart. Literally day of closing, and the buyers just didn't show up. And, you know, I had the listing, so buyers just didn't show up. And that was probably the most stressful, mainly because you feel like you let your seller down. You know, things like that happen. You know, everybody understands it.
did they email you?
No, they quit calling everybody. I mean, lender, their buyer's agent, the closing attorney, they stopped calling everybody. So long story short, not 2, maybe 3 weeks later, we got a cash offer, closed in 12 days. It was great. And the agent that worked with me on that was wonderful too. But it's just one of those things that you have to deal with those situations as they come up, and you got to be able to work through them, and you got to be able to have the backbone to talk to your clients sometimes and let them know, look, this kind of stuff happens and it's unfortunate, but.
Do you have tougher skin now?
Oh, 100%.
Because you can't, like, I mean, you can't please everybody with you know, especially like having that phone call, like, oh, you're not approved for this house.
Right.
The deal's not done. You shouldn't have bought that car. And
I've had that happen too.
I bet it's happened a lot. Like, you know, today with the mattress store, we had a couple come in and look at a mattress because they got to go through closing on 26, and they're like, we're going to come back and buy a mattress, but they wanted to buy today, but they pushed off like, well, no, we don't want to.
And there's a lot of furniture places out there that are not like you.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, we're not going to push them on it, you know.
Well, they'll tell you, oh, well, you don't have to make a payment for 6 months,
yeah.
so it's not going to hit your credit.
Yeah,
they're wrong.
But it was today, like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and it is discouraging because you go down there and they want it, but they can't have it right now, and they're like, look, we're going to come back, and I hope, and that's normally how it works,
right?
If we're honest with them, they'll be honest with us.
That's it. And if you don't push them, they'll come back.
And we're dealing with the same thing for a while with inventory.
Right. Inventory is
gone.
Low.
Huh?
Low.
Houses are so expensive now.
They are. But you got to think about this. You've got more properties have closed in the local 3 counties this year than last year, and last year than the year before. So yes, our inventory on market right now is less. However, we've also had more closings in the last 2 years, each year gaining. So that tells me we've got a lot more people purchasing houses. So while the inventory is low, it's not necessarily a huge difference in the amount of houses that are on the market. It's just a huge difference on the amount of houses that are selling.
Where do you think the real estate market is going to go in the next 3 years?
Oh, that's tough.
I know you watch it like a stock.
Oh, I do. Yeah. But you know, everybody has their own opinion, and I may be wrong. I'm young in this industry, so I haven't seen everything, but I do have a lot of lenders and people that I talk to on a regular that have been in the business for a long time. And I feel like our area is growing so much because people are now open to other areas that they would not have been. I mean, your typical, Mississippi, not wearing shoes, no indoor plumbing, kind of deal. People are being able to vacation here, and they have been throughout COVID. So they were able to see the area that we call home, that we are blessed with, that they didn't think was Mississippi, and they like it. So they're coming here. So I've helped a lot of people from outside of our area. So I think that's going to keep our area strong. I think we're going to see, your foreclosures, I think you're going to start hitting the market. Your interest rates are going up already, which is lowering your buying power for most buyers. But we're still seeing a lot of cash coming in. I mean, I've got 2 deals right now that are cash, and they're willing to close whenever the seller can. So, I mean, I think it's going to stay strong. I think we're going to see it kind of level out, but I don't think we're going to be hit with that like 2008 crash.
What is it? I remember when I was doing the real estate class, and they said it was like 3 real estate agents to 1 house or something. Is that true?
I think I would say so. We're probably at, last time I looked, we were at about 1,800 ish agents in our local GCAR, Gulf Coast Realtor Association.
Is it very competitive?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about yourself. How many agents do you know?
A lot.
Right.
That was like,
so, I mean, everybody's got an agent in their family, or an agent that they went to school with, or an agent they go to church with, or, I mean, everybody knows at least one, if not more, agents.
Well, I think it's important that when you do have an agent, though, they get it done right. And I think that I went through, my first house buying experience wasn't that great. I've kind of felt like I had, I'm not going to name names or whatever, but I felt like my buddy's ex, it was one of her first houses or whatever. And I felt like he helped me sell it more, and I helped to sell it more. And then like, she put me on, like, I told her I need a house. Like, I wanted to close on this house, but I couldn't be in the flood zone. But she's like, it's not in the flood zone, but then come to find out it's in the flood zone. So I went through a lot of that. And then I think I really just stressed her out, because I was like, just tell me yes or no. And then when we bought this house, Jay Carter was, the guy.
So you had a bad experience there too?
No, we walked this house. And it just felt right. We knew, and I didn't want to waste Jake's time. He didn't want to waste my time. We put it all for an hour later.
There you go.
And I looked at Jake, and he goes, well, what do you want to do? I said, you know what to do.
Right.
And we kept it smooth. And that was all it was. I never called and hassled and said, you know what to do. This is, and
you relied on him to do his job,
and he did his job. Right. And he got us where we're comfortable with it, but he didn't waste any time. It wasn't a lot of back and forth.
Right.
He was just straight up with me, like, you're not, let's just go this direction. Let's not, mess around. Let's just get this done. And we did. And, of course we had a few issues with closing, which everybody has, a few, like 1 week pushback or something like that. But besides that, that was one of the smoothest transactions I ever dealt with. And yeah, no, it was that, but you could tell the difference in experienced agent, first timer.
Right. Well, and I know a lot of people personally that have gotten into real estate in the last 2 to 3 years, and it's really been lucrative, and it's been good. It's been cutthroat because there's so many agents in the market, but it's been very good for most people. So, when people get in, or people come to me and ask me about, hey, I'm fixing to get my real estate license, or I'm thinking about getting my real estate license or something like that, I'm like, just make sure, no matter where you go, agent, you have to hold your license with a broker. I said, so no matter where you go, just make sure whoever brokerage you go to, that they train. Because if you don't know what you're doing going in, and they just kick you out of the nest and say, hey, good luck, call me if you need me, that.
Dude, that's going to happen a lot.
A lot.
You got your license.
Honestly, it makes it tough for the ones of us that do, know what we're doing, or at least learn, because it's a continuous learning curve. There's no transactions the same.
And I think the big thing with me, I look at real estate the same way I look at like doing wedding photography. And that's why I've only done one wedding. That was Garrett's wedding.
I've done 2 when I did photography, and I vowed to never do another one.
So So that's what I looked at. I looked at it like that because I always everybody people are like, why do you always? Now I did
That
Garrett.
has to be your passion.
I did Garrett's for we were at the White Pillars, but that's my producer of the show. That's my brother. Like, and they had 3 or 4 photographers,
Right.
But his mom has the metal print hanging on the house of like what I shot, and I was gone. I was leaving the pink dress run. I told you I was leaving. I left there, got fully dressed, and grabbed because Emily had my camera, put it in there, and I shot his wedding. While they had other photographers there, it was one of my first experiences, but I did it for him, and he didn't tell me what to do.
Right.
And that was hard on me, but I looked at real estate the same way because you have to deal with like, needs and wants. Like,
yep.
I want this house 3 bedroom, 2 bath, but I want a jacuzzi tub, and I want to be under $110,000.
Right.
And I want 4 acres.
Right.
And you're like, what? Where's that at?
I'll take that unicorn too.
But that's what you and
Right.
There's no way I'd be like, huh? I think in real estate, you got to be realistic on what you want to buy. And I think that's what we did when we bought with Jake.
Well, and you have to, as an agent, you have to set that expectation for your clients.
Yeah.
Hey, if that's not out there, you can either waste 3-4 weeks looking, spending your time showing them houses, they're not going to like because they're either priced higher or they're not what they want, or you be upfront with them and tell them, say, look, and they're going to respect you for doing it.
What is one of the worst, like when somebody asked about something for a house, like the features they wanted, what was like one of the craziest features?
Like I said, okay. I see where you're
But yeah, I want to know the craziest features.
Let me think. We've had people want to have, and most people will get this because they're, around here. So I've had people ask me and want water access for deep water boat access, but they don't want to be in a flood zone.
How's that possible?
It's not. I mean, you can get it, but those properties typically don't last long at all. Like there's some in Eagle Point that have river access, that have deep water, that sit up high enough to where they're in the next 500 flood zone, so they don't require flood insurance. So, but they're very rare.
Well, you're in a gray area with that too, because as we have more hurricanes,
it could definitely change.
The flood zones change
100%.
I mean, that's a big thing about living. You're living on the coast.
Is it?
If I'm going to find a house on the water, I already know I'm getting flood because I grew up in most of the houses on the river.
Well, you know where I live.
Yeah,
I don't have water.
Yeah,
but I'm close, and I don't have to have flood insurance, but I got it.
Is that your forever home?
Don't ask me. You have to ask Marcella.
What is she thinking?
I tried to sell it twice this year, but she won't sell it.
That's like Mike Butler in his house.
Mm-hmm.
The one, he has that Destiny Plantations.
Yep.
Lauren won't sell that house. They have this really gorgeous home, and Butler's like, I will sell it. And she's like, no, we're not. No,
I don't get it. You know me though. I don't get attached.
I don't think he does either.
Yeah. So
you try to sell it twice?
I tried, but she won't let me. She said she's not going to DocuSign anything I send her.
Oh snap! Well, it's a nice home though.
It is,
and it's a lot of room.
I like it. It's perfect size for our family, and it's a great location. And you're not going to find that location very often.
But you're in it you're in it in the right.
Oh yeah.
And that's what you see.
That's what I see.
Yeah, you're like, okay, this is because I tell people all the time, like the house that you owned for a long time was off O'Neill Road, and it was
15 years we were in that house.
Subdivision. I mean, I remember going to your house way back in the day.
1,400 square foot house.
That was one of my first houses. This house right here, I think we're at like 2,500 square feet.
We're at 23 now.
That's enough.
I don't need anymore. So our plans actually had it upstairs, and we decided not to do it. We made a bigger closet in my office instead of doing the upstairs because it's just me, Marcella, and our little girl Lila, and that's it. So I mean, we're not growing.
Yeah.
But before long, Lila's gonna be grown and out. So
I don't think we're ever moving. And people say, like, don't ever say that. I'm being serious. Like if we ever think about getting something that's gonna be like a river house away from here, like away from our home, or I don't know. I just don't like moving. I'm one of the people that I'm comfortable where I'm at. I don't like a lot of change when it comes to moving. Right. And I see people all the time like, and maybe it was like, my dad, I lived with my mom. We all lived in Latimer for years in the same house, but like my dad, and and my stepmom, they jumped around a lot. I didn't like that.
Right.
I didn't like the moving around.
See, and
3 years here, 3 years there.
I was in my parents' house until I got married.
And they're still in that house.
And they're still in that house.
Same house?
Yep. Same house.
You
My
see-
grandparents still live in the house that they lived in when I was growing up.
Do you still have the bedroom still intact?
Yes. Now my dad collects Hot Wheels. So,
Your bedroom's still intact.
oh yeah.
What kind of posters on the wall?
No. All that's down.
Okay.
Yeah, no. I had a 1981, I think, Porsche 911 on the wall that I'd cut out and pinned to the wall, and my mom got mad at me because I had wood paneling in the.
What year did you graduate?
97.
Okay. It was 05 for me.
Yeah, no, you're young.
Not too. You can't say it anymore, really.
Yeah, I guess not.
No, you can't really. I mean, look, I got grays in my beard right here.
That's why mine stays short.
I had that 959,
959, yeah.
the silver one or
Yep.
whatever. I had that from the book fair. Ivan Spinner, shout out to Ivan Spinner, owns the coast. I bought him because he told us a story about like his dream car was that Ferrari he has. So I bought him that what do you call it? The Ferrari,
The
poster,
poster.
found
Yeah,
it in Canada.
Yeah.
And I bought it and we gifted to him, and he's got it in his actual office. It was a great episode, but he was like, yeah, no, I always wanted that car. And I think that one, the poster was red, but he got a black one, I believe. And that's like one of his favorite cars.
Yeah.
And he's big, and like, that's kind of cool though. You see, like you're buying your
I'm just
dream.
proud of him for his house and the way he lives, or where he lives, not the way he lives, but the location he lives on. I'm glad he finally got him a big boat.
Oh, he does have a big boat.
He got him a nice.
I went to that, they had a pool party or whatever I went to a few weeks back. Oh, that is a massive boat he has. What kind of boat is that?
I think it's a Hydrosport.
Is it?
I think it's a HCB, which is a big Hydrosport.
What is that, 50 foot? What is that?
And
And can he drive it? It's the key.
well, I mean, I don't know that.
Ivan, can
not
you
gonna talk
drive
bad
it?
about him.
I want to know if Ivan can drive it. We'll figure that out.
I do know that he commented on the boat parade, which we'll talk about later.
Okay.
And I'd say, well, I hope that thing's going to be dressed in pink and make an appearance. And he said, absolutely. So I'm banking on that.
No, it's Ivan. He'll do it.
Yeah, he better not let us down.
Are you gonna have your boat in the boat parade?
I am. My wife has already started consuming some decorations, compiling, whatever you want to call it. I've got,
Are you gonna put boobies on your boat? I think you are. Just looking at you right now. I think you're gonna have boobies on the boat. Yeah, guys. July 30th, Captain Al's Carter Champions doing a boat parade. The link's in the bio. $50. They're doing
Boatin for Boobies.
Boatin for Boobies.
It's gonna start in Gulfport Lake, probably around noon. We're gonna iron that out, and then we'll proceed through Bayou Bernard all the way to Captain Al's, where there
fly right here, just dope flyer here, brother did.
There'll be a big after party with live music and raffles for all the entries, and it's going to be a really good time for a really good cause.
I wonder do we ever nail down if we're doing king and queen or just queen?
I don't know yet.
Right.
I do know, and they may kill me for saying this because I think it was going to be a little bit of a surprise.
What?
But one of the board members that is over that with me has secured the pink pontoon boat.
Okay.
And we're going to have that as I think a survivor boat.
Okay.
But we're working on details now.
Who's gonna drive that thing?
I don't know. That's what I said. We're working on details now.
Yeah. And you all be, if you do get on that boat, you will be signing waivers.
Oh, 100%.
Like you will be signing waivers. No, I think it's gonna be good. I think this is gonna be a really cool event. So
if you live on Bayou Bernard, it would be a good time to go ahead and write that date down so that you can watch all the boats come by.
I know we're gonna have more than 25 boats.
I think there's already 25 registered.
What?
I think there's already 25 registered. I think there's more than 25, but I'm not sure on that.
I think 50.
I think it's below 30, but I think it's more than 25 that's already registered. And I talked to more people today that were looking at some nice big boats coming. So
It's gonna be an all day event, guys. There's
Yeah.
no
Oh,
way
yeah.
it's no way it's gonna be early morning, then we're leaving, because it's like the same thing with the pink dress run with us. Like it's gonna be that's next year. Our pink dress run too is gonna be an all day event.
We're hoping that we can put some of the boats on display at Captain Al's in the new marina after the parade. Like they'll all be there, decorated still, and it'll be something.
Stacy, you're cutting it close with that new marina.
Oh, it's in good shape. Look, I had to do work on my trailer Thursday night. I replaced all the hubs on my boat trailer. Me and Christian Juno, and he doesn't have Facebook, so he's not going to see this, but appreciate you. We replaced all the hubs, and my boat sat at that marina. I put it in the water and run it around, and we worked on it under the bridge, worked on the trailer, and I docked the boat right there, and it was nice.
You know, she has 18 acres.
Oh, it's going to be.
I didn't know she like I walked the whole property with her.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, and I want that bar she's putting in the middle. That's what I want.
That's going to be legit.
Yeah, I told John. I said, he goes, I think he's looking to get a party barge. I mean, we were just chit chatting about it, but I'm like, John, you know what? We don't need a party barge. We need like a 1970s or 80s ski boat, because I got a mullet now. And I said, we can make it loud and proud. He's like, well, we need a party barge because our kids and stuff. But he was like, yeah, we need a party barge and like leave it down there. Like,
yeah,
because I'm reading like when she walked, her like, what? You got this bar coming in here? Like, it's gonna be it's gonna be a resort.
That property is going to be top notch.
If she pulls off, I'm not gonna speak on all her ideas.
Oh no,
because there's a lot of ideas that she has, and I don't want to I'll tell you what her vision for that.
She doesn't really do anything halfway.
No, she don't. No, I said so. I went and just when Shelly, shout out to Shelly, love you, girl. But when Shelly didn't tell her about the board.
Right. So
I went over there to Captain Al's and just was going to tell her I'm sorry and hang out. And she walked the property with me and John. And then I ended up staying there all day and helped her close. Me and her sat on the porch and just had a beer together, finished out the night.
Right.
And she's just an amazing person. And no, I think her passion is, Gina's the same way though.
Gina is.
Gina and John.
Yep.
Oh, man, like they're big. It's going to be crazy to see. I think the boat parade is going to be bigger than we expect.
I think so too.
And because they have that Christmas parade.
Yeah,
that's great. That's a great one. But you don't ever see that's a nighttime thing,
right?
The daytime thing.
So they did a St. Patrick's Day parade a couple, maybe a year or so ago, and that was the Molly Lee. Fundraiser.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of boats, a lot of participation with that.
That's David Lee's little girl.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, Deluxe Cleaners. We will plug you here. Yeah, that's my
absolutely.
cleaners.
Mine too.
I told him, I said, whenever you're ready to come on the podcast, let me know. And he's like, he's going to come on. He's still, but he's definitely. I've seen him at Ivan's. He's definitely coming on. But yeah, Courthouse Road. They do an incredible job.
Yep.
I'm telling you,
and they deliver,
and they're cheap.
Yeah, they are.
Like, guys, if you got Mardi Gras coming up and you're like, I don't know how much it's going to cost, just go drop it off. You'll be surprised what you're going to get done.
Yep.
Especially, when you see somebody in a wrinkled button down, you're like, come on, man, you didn't go to Deluxe. I should do their commercial. Nah, that is, I just know that I like doing, well, number one, I'm a transplant from Latimer, St. Martin to now Gulfport. Now this is my city. Just because I got a podcast.
Well, welcome.
Well, it's always been years, but no, I mean, it started with the Pink Dress Run, and you know that, and you've been a part of the Pink Dress Run with us, and now you're with us,
right?
And you're right down the road, and it's a group of us, and we all like doing help the community, and like Stacy, all of us, like, can you imagine all of us coming together and just making it happen,
right?
And that's
especially
key.
For the cause. I mean, it's that's near and dear to my heart. So
100%. Yeah, and your mom's, I mean, is she doing better now?
She's doing good. She's doing good.
Is she back in readmission?
No, she's still fighting it every day.
Now, is she doing the treatments or is she taking the pills?
She's doing chemo pills.
Chemo pills?
Yep.
She looked good. I seen her at was it Cajuns or Hearts? This is Cajuns.
Cajuns.
Yeah, I seen them, and your dad was like, "Are you the photographer?" I was like, "Yeah."
Mama T and Pops.
But so is she doing it weekly?
Yeah, I think she's got. I think what she does is like basically rounds. It's like 3 weeks on, 1 week off. I'm not mistaken. And she does the transfusions and the infusions.
Dude, she's extremely tough because she's always
She
at
is.
every event we do.
Hardcore.
And when you go through a situation like that, and I think that was a big thing about like us doing the run. And I tell people all the time, like, you know, when it first started with me and John, you know, concept of like, I mean, the meaning was there, but it ain't what it is now.
Right.
Like we were just like, hey, let's raise money because we're pretty much wild animals.
Right.
Now circle back and it's like, you know, it's the survivors. And
right.
I think for me it was interviewing them and just feeling like you can feel their how they feel. And
right.
if they don't feel beautiful and they don't, and then look at us and it's like all our best times in our life besides our kids and, you know, our girls and what we have now is you couldn't pass up a Treasure Bay or Rice Pavilion in our cars. If people really know us, they're like, what'd y'all really enjoy? I said, honestly, I didn't really drink then.
Nope.
We sat
hang out on the beach.
Look, and that's it.
That's it.
And that's the same way I try to look at the run.
Yep.
And, you know, we got more people that are passionate about doing this. And like I said, your mom's out there every year. And I know that she looks forward to that event.
She does.
And it's if we can continue to give make an event fun, safe, and make the Survivor so beautiful, I think we're winning.
That's it.
I mean, I really think that we're going to be a force. And look, I'm just telling you right now, we will be a force to reckon with years to come because you're dealing with the people that are on this board that all we do is work. Like I literally today I worked I just got off work 9.5 hours
right.
and then called you and was like, you want a pod? I mean, I've been cleaning toilets all day. I worked Saturday. I did the Bridge Expo, which is a great event. Had a lot of fun, but I slept 2 hours, did that, slept, 7 hours, went to work today, hit you up and want to do a podcast. But you're the same way.
Right.
You're dealing with people like, what?
All the time.
What's 9 to 5?
No,
We don't know anything about that.
They said you don't like clocking in and out. So you start your own business and then you work 24/7. So,
well, it's good when you have people that like, I do get a little, I ain't gonna lie, I do get a little nervous because we have so much going on this year.
right.
And I can't say it doesn't, concern me on certain things because a few ideas have popped up. I'm like, if we don't do that, I'm okay this year.
Right.
I feel like we got a plate full right now. Because I want to be at every one.
Right. But you don't want to overdo it and then be stretched too far.
Yeah.
I understand.
I mean, how many events we got going on this year? We got
4 or 5, I think.
Plus, I mean, the Luau's are our sponsor.
I was just going to say, plus the other events like Jersey Mike's and Luau's and, all that kind of
then
stuff.
We got Cam's Fishing Tournament.
Yep.
We got, I think, Ground Zero. I'm not 100%. I think it's still on.
The music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
last meeting it was, yeah.
Yeah. That's to be TBD, right?
Right.
Just to be determined on that. And I'm pretty sure Terry and all of them that's going to be going on. So we got that.
I think there's 5 or 6 events, if not maybe more.
Yeah.
So,
and, I mean, it's going to be, and then we got Cruising the Coast.
Yep.
I mean, and Scraping the Coast.
Yes.
And I heard this is pretty big this year. I'll see about working on the ruckus tonight so I can get it ready.
Yeah, we tried to strong arm somebody to come on, but
what's his name? Miles?
Yeah, but we don't want to talk bad about him.
I don't know.
I mean, well, we can, but
I kind of want to talk bad about him. I mean,
so yes, I'll dodge that bullet, and we're gonna. It's the 20th anniversary year of Scraping the Coast.
I'm trying to pull it up right now so we can share it.
It's I think it's going to be a pretty good event. Looking for a big turnout from the actual entry standpoint.
Who did the graphics this year? You don't know.
I do.
Not off the top of your head. It's okay. Let's see. I'm going to share this real quick.
Full Throttle Marketing. I can't remember.
Let's go ahead and share.
I can't remember their name. That's horrible.
It's okay.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I don't even know my mom's birthday. Just kidding. I know my mom's birthday. I'm not going to set myself up for that one. So look at Scraping the Coast, guys. And for Scraping the Coast, it's not all about low riders. And that's something that it's their name. It's how it started.
It is.
It is how it started. But if you look over here, I mean, it's there's so many divisions.
Hot rods, lifted trucks, rat rods,
motorcycles, ATVs.
You've got side-by-sides that come down. There is a group that comes down, I want to say from Texas, but I'm not positive on that. but they bring probably 5 to 10 every year, and the amount of money that they have in them things, and all they do is take them off road. These side by sides are just incredible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, also there's going to be a lot of trailer queens there.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen a few of these cars and also if I'm going to say right now, Scraping the Coast, if you're into an automotive show, even if you don't have a car, it's a great event to come out and support at the Coliseum. But if you're entering, they have some of the cool, like this right here. I'm pulling up right now, like one of their trophies. Like they've always been very custom with their trophies.
Yes.
They're all handmade trophies.
Yep. So they do first through third place.
And that's the higher end, but there's several other ones that are not handmade, but the ones they do are.
They do staff picks. They do best of shows. They do all kinds of surfboards, skimboards, and they're all hand painted.
Will they have autocross this year?
That's Cruising Coke.
Didn't y'all do autocross? Y'all never done. Y'all used to have some kind of car event, or that's the hydraulic event.
They do that, and they have the burnout contest.
That's the burnout contest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look at all these. I mean, guys, there's like from JDMs to
it's
Bel Airs, Cutlasses. Yeah. Y'all even been having I mean, Dang Vu comes out with NOLA Motorsports.
Yep.
And then Dang, it was NOLA Stunners.
NOLA Stunners.
NOLA Stunners. Dang. Yeah. He's been big into all these F-250s. If I have to see another one of them, there's so many F-250s in this world. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of lifted trucks. American Force is a big sponsor. So they bring out their big booth, and they bring a lot of trucks to the event. So it's going to be a good one. Like I said, 20-year anniversary. And it's the first year without Greg Miller.
That's going to be tough.
So
like, because I mean, Greg was such larger than life, honestly. Always down. He brought me with doing the ruckus. He got me to do the ruckus first year. Guys, a little bit of backstory. Miles was in. There's like Ronnie.
You've got Ronnie Toller, Miles,
and Ronnie had the dually, right, back in the day.
Yes, back in the. No, that was Greg. Ronnie had a Nissan, little Nissan hard body.
Well, was it Cameron's friend? I met one of them that I didn't really know well. I know Miles, Greg, you. There's
Eric Kendrick from New Orleans area, Baton Rouge.
Might have.
And then they had another partner back in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, I only knew.
It's those four basically founding fathers.
And it's just crazy to see how far it's came.
Yeah, it's from what we were doing back in the day when we were going to the Rice Pavilion for the little Sunday shows and Pascagoula.
But they hit hard. I ain't gonna lie. I miss them. I ain't gonna lie. And now it's called Jones Park. Okay.
Yeah, it's Jones Park.
It's a fancier name, but it's Rice Pavilion. Yeah. Like you can call it whatever you want to call it, but
where the trailer parking is right there at Jones Park.
Keith Wilson said, praying for your mom, Randy.
Thank you very much.
Shout out Keith. Keith does really good reporting, guys. Check him out. He's all over LinkedIn, all over Facebook. He's independent. He was with a few papers, I believe, and he just does his own thing now.
Okay.
But he does really good reporting. He always catches the first, like, especially like local city stuff. He's everywhere, and he does a good write up. I actually, when he posts stuff, I enjoy catching. You can get a lot from his write ups.
Right.
I would consider him. He does the news, but he's a very talented blogger. But I think he was with the Avril Press for a while, and then I know when he went independent, he still didn't give it up. And when you are a journalist and you're real passionate, you ain't gonna stop.
No,
I mean
not with the platforms that we have out there now.
I mean, like my buddy Nathan, he's I mean, all these. I mean, they're WLX now, Sun Herald. But them guys don't make a lot of money.
Right.
They don't.
No.
And I thought they did back in the day. When you used to go to the under $100 free,
right.
The newspaper stuff. But like these guys don't make a lot of money to do write-ups. Like this podcast, I guess I can consider it some local media. We're giving you the plug on Scraping the Coast. I just think if you look, and I'll tell you another thing too is if you're looking for a car and you got some money to spend and you really are worried about, and you're like, oh no, I got money, but I'm going to send it to a company to build it. If you want to be smart about it, you want to save the money you have, go to this event. And I guarantee you there's a lot of cars for sale.
Oh yeah.
And that are fully done. And you're going to save you tens of thousands of dollars on builds.
And if they don't have a for sale sign, just ask them.
Yeah. Well, I always tell you like that. Like, what would you do if, like when it comes to, build it or buy it? And you're going to save a lot of money if you buy it.
And you can buy something like that and make it yours.
Well, you did with that Riviera.
I built that one.
You built the Riviera?
I did.
Oh, that was your build?
Ground up.
Really?
Yep.
That has really?
Yep.
I thought you bought that one.
Nope.
That's a sick car.
It was.
I can't believe
I haven't
you
been
did.
able to find it. I've been looking for it online and I can't find it.
What did you end up selling that thing for?
It ended up going from me to St. Louis, Missouri. I sold it online and ended up going up there, and he ended up taking it to Meekum car auction
I seen it. Yeah, I did see that.
and didn't sell it. He put a reserve on it that was crazy and didn't sell it. And then he turned around and took it to Barrett Jackson, and it actually went across the block in Scottsdale, Arizona at Barrett Jackson and sold for less than what he had in it.
Do you
They
miss
could-
it?
I do to an extent.
So,
I don't miss working on it, as bad as that sounds, but I do miss the car.
I always tell you, like, the only car you should have never got rid of was, what? That little hatchback. I think that was the prettiest. It was like a silver with a gold pearl. Oh,
It was a Ford Mustang pewter color.
that's what it was.
Yep.
Do you have the Riviera pictures in your album?
Oh God, yeah, that's
Let's see if I can.
that's probably been
Oh, there it is.
7 or 8 years ago.
All right, guys, this is what we're talking about with this car of his he built. That's how I knew Randy, guys. I was like, I think I was 13 or 14 when I met Randy my first time, and it was through the car scene.
Man, it was a long time ago.
Yes, yeah. Now we're somewhat neighbors, so this is pretty crazy. Oh, let's make us. That car's so sick. All right, well, it's kind of a tiny picture. I'll zoom in a little bit, but this is the car that he sold. Well, Randy's always done that kind of stuff. He had an Excursion, he sold it, and he's like, I'm going to get another car. He had an Infiniti, sold it. Had a Chevy truck, sold it. There's Excursion right there. That was a diesel, with they're rare to get now. I don't know why he sold that one. Oh, I remember that.
The wife wanted heated and cooled seats.
I remember the Blazer you had, that Tahoe.
Yes, the little white.
Ooh.
Which one are you talking about?
White one? I'm looking at all your cars right now.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
There's a little Volkswagen Bug in there.
Oh.
Should be.
Let's see. We're going through it right now.
Had a little Fox body Mustang with the flames on it.
And now you're in these into these jet boat things now.
Well, that's the difference between men and boys, is the price of the toys. At least that's what they say.
So this is his boat he has now, but it's done. There's better photos of this car. Oh, that's the car that ran away. Kind of reminded me, like, remember the movie Green Hornet? That's what it reminded me of, kind of. It has that Green Hornet feel to it. Yeah. And looking at this stuff, when you look, honestly, it's kind of tough to think about, Greg, during this time, because you look at, that's how, like, all these cars and stuff. I think it's gonna be a beautiful. I know Greg's watching over y'all, and I'm pretty sure y'all gonna have a sunny, beautiful Scraping the Coast, or he's gonna be mad. And he's just gonna rain all over y'all. I don't know.
It's gonna go one way or the other.
If you start voting for APC cars, and do y'all have good judges?
Yes. Yeah. We do we've done drive-through judging for, gosh, probably been 10 years almost now. Or if not longer, it may have been. I think it's been longer than that.
This is Randy and his family. Guys, I mean, I'll go ahead and plug it right now. 228-547-99999. If you need a house, this is what Randy does.
If you're looking to buy or sell, I know a guy. Or looking to sell or buy, I said it wrong. Look at that.
Randy needs a new
sell
car.
or buy, I know a guy.
Randy needs a new car. And this is an opportunity for you to sell. If you're looking for a house, this is how he buys cars and stuff. Do you have that photo of your boat though? And I went on that real quick. We're having fun. This is, to me, I'm trying to find the
impromptu.
Well, yeah, but this is the second time on here. Trying to find. It's not too far off. You got it paid not too long ago, right?
Hey, I got it painted over the winter. Just got my decals back on it. My fountain and the realtor decals.
Let's go to
realtor, I guess.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like your thing. Did you lock down the .com?
What?
The realtor.
Mm-mm.
You should, especially on this podcast right now.
I may do that.
I'm telling you right now, grab your phone. Like, I need to have it, and then put it to your name. because people could pull you up that
Right.
way faster with that. Let's see. When was that? May? Was it April you got to paint it?
I'm trying to think. It would have been, February, April, end of February, 1st of April when I got it back.
Let's see. And you got all these model photos now.
Huh?
Shout out to Diot too. Look at Diot. We're gonna look. I'm gonna take you on a ride. You're gonna look at how beautiful Diot's like a model now. Let's see. His hair's got that gray. You know what I mean? Like slick
that
back.
salt and pepper hair.
Huh?
He got that salt and pepper hair.
Look at that hair. It's amazing. So I talked to him like last week or whatever, and he went and seen Top Gun. It was hilarious. But look at that.
I hadn't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
I want to see it.
Look at this gray hair he has. Great hair. Let's go. Let's find this boat. Look at that right there. Look at him leaning against the wall with the suit on. And you get your think interest rates are high. Think interest rates are high now. 2022, 5.64%. 2012, 3.66%. 2002, 6.54%. 1992, guys, 8.39%. And 1982, 16.04%. So what now, America? That's pretty much what he's saying with that post. Should I just get
Education?
Should I get let's do a little montage? Well, I know you've been working out. I see that too. Let's see.
Bad thing is I can't see what you're looking at.
She's battling cancer. She's gonna win. She's tougher than me and him.
She's strong.
Yeah, way stronger than us. Come on, where's that gray picture? I was like, wow, who did that boat?
It's actually one of Miles's hookups. He's a good guy.
Shout out to Jason at Chillville's. Right, it's right there
Jason
by our
Brown.
house. You definitely check them out. I think they serve ice cream and beer. It's right by Woody's, Roadside, Gulfport, Marine Cantina, Captain Al's, all them good places. This road is about to blow up.
Yep.
But where's the traffic light going to come in?
I don't know. If they put another one, I think we're going to all be stuck.
Well, Miles Sharp better do something.
Right.
Miles Sharp, I know you're like, I haven't met him. Like, I know Miles Sharp's in our area, but we need a traffic light. It's dangerous. Like, me and Emily jokes, like, what's it going to take? Is it going to take like a serious wreck?
Marcella goes south to go north.
I know, but we do too, but sometimes you can't now with this traffic 605 bridge.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's going to be over in, I think, July, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully that'll be done soon. And I think it won't be as bad.
Come on, let me find this. You got so many photos on here.
Sorry.
It's okay. We're having oh, there it is. It just looks so much better now. We can kind of see it.
Yeah.
It looks so, and that's his wife's truck. That's not his truck. That's Marcella right there in the back. Wearing our Carter's Champion official dry fit. But yeah, no, that boat is beautiful. I didn't know Fountains. Is that a fountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Fountains made Open Fisherman.
Yep.
That's how much I know about boats. Like, but I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
I deal with my friends all the time. It's like, look, man, like when they talk about catching fish, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, if I don't know, I really don't know.
Right.
If I think I know, I'll say something, but boats are just different. Like, I love a Blazer Bay.
Right.
I like older boats. I like the old Malibu ski boats with the mid-engine. Like, I don't know. I mean, I like any 80s
Ski nautique.
I would say any 80s. I would say I wouldn't. The 80s, how it was like, like the bikini movies. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
I'm not going to say the word because the little girl, his daughter might be watching this, but y'all know how the 80s movies went with the girls in bikinis, and they always had the ski boats, and they're, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they had them crazy colors on the boats.
Yep.
I was looking at cause like when I sold my rental, besides me buying this really dope, merch machine, this is my mattress store, will plug you. But when I was doing, I bought that machine, I was looking at them boats, some Malibu boats.
Yep.
That's kind of what I want. She's like, what do you want? Like, you want to get a boat, babe? I'm like, well, number one, I love photography. And if I can get a boat to get out, well, I just need to ride with you.
Right.
But like, if you can get me out there.
I would always advise just riding on somebody's boat versus buying one.
Well, but for photography though.
No, I agree.
You can get me out there with my cameras and let me. So like one of my lenses, I can capture the stars. So if me and you are out there, like we can capture like.
Well, you're just gonna have to go to Horn with me one time.
Well, I just don't want to be around anybody trying to fist fight.
No,
I don't want to get around that kind of stuff. I don't like that stuff.
No.
Last time I went to Horn Island was probably 7 years ago, and it was people fighting when they're drinking.
Yeah, I ain't fooling with all that.
I don't deal with that.
Yeah.
I try to be happy.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
That's all we do. We get in the water, have a couple drinks, and
well, you know
float.
but that lens really does capture a lot. You're right about that. We still living over here because I love, like, I remember when before Jake sold out, and Jake Carter is what I'm talking about. He's a broker of this Century 21. You might know him, but he had a Key West.
Yep.
And he bought that from his brother-in-law, Christina's brother, and him and John did. And we went riding on that boat with me, him, Dean, and all of us. And all we did was putt around and went to Captain Al's, got bushwhackers, and did a circle.
That's it.
I want a boat for that.
Yep.
I mean, how do you stay in Bayou Bernard?
No, I'll run up the river or I'm out front. We run out to Wahoo's or
How fast that boat go?
mine. Oh, it ain't fast. It's 50, 55.
But how fast does Miles' boat go?
Well, Miles don't have one right now.
You got rid of it?
He's got a little fishing boat
Oh,
because he lives on the river now. So he just rides with everybody else. So Chase just bought one, another buddy of mine. He bought a 42-foot fountain, and it's about 100-mile-an-hour boat. And then Christian, another buddy of mine's got the twin outboard cat. That
are they pretty reliable?
No,
They got like 454s or something, right? Or LSs, or what are they?
it's 454. It's big blocks.
They got to be pretty reliable if they're
Super-
no overheating issues.
Well, it's just you're running a big block at high RPMs. So you're running a big block at 5,500 RPMs at 95 mile an hour for 12, 15 minutes or longer. And I mean, they just don't.
Are the parts expensive on it?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it more expensive than them like big motors they got out now? Like them, somebody told me they bought a 250 horsepower, 250 horsepower motor. It was like 18, 20 grand or something.
Yeah. The new outboard motors are expensive, but you got to think you don't have transmission, you don't have outdrive. It's all one. So you're spending, if you're probably spending, I don't know, I'm probably going to be wrong because my motors were cheaper when I had the Scarab, my Go Fast boat, but you're probably looking for inboards. You're probably looking $10,000 to $20,000 for a motor. But then you have, depending on what outdrives you have, you got $3,000 to $20,000 in outdrives and then transmissions if you have those. So, I mean,
It's the same thing.
yeah, it's just,
What kind of motor do you got on yours?
I've got 225 Optimaxes. I've got two of them
Why do you need two motors? Just fill me in.
because one is none, two is one. When one goes out, I can still get back on.
So that's
And it's it's a 31-foot boat. So, I mean, you got to,
Does it have a restroom in it?
that depends on who you are. Yes, I do have a John, but if you use it, you clean it. So it's a little camping John, but it's got a bed in the front and everything.
Does it really?
Mhm.
You ever slept on that boat?
No. Nope.
Now,
Would I? Probably.
did you? When you didn't buy that boat new,
Oh, no,
and you love shopping.
I do.
You're a bargainer.
I am.
Did you where'd you find that boat at?
Jackson.
Mississippi?
He kept it in South Florida, but he was from right outside of Jackson, just south of Jackson. Kind of in between, I guess Florence would, right in between Brandon and Jackson.
Well, should I buy a new boat or used boat?
If it comes with a warranty, go ahead and buy a new one. But they're just super expensive right now. Like all boats are, but
Yeah, I mean, this is down the road, but living over here, you kind of have to eventually get a boat.
you need one.
I mean, something smaller, just a jet ski. Emily won't let me. She doesn't want me to get a jet ski though.
Well, jet skis are tough with kids.
He loves shoes more than boats.
Who is that?
Who you think? I'm gonna let you guess. I'm gonna let you guess.
I'm not guessing. Is that Miles?
No.
Okay.
Starts with an M. Michelle.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't even got there yet. I was going to call her out.
So call her right now.
I tried to get her to come over here tonight, but she wouldn't.
Well, everybody needs these
So
notices.
she was out
like,
shopping for shoes.
everybody needs notices. Like I'm always last minute with the show. And there's some of the best shows, especially when it comes down to our downloads and people get because you're not prepared.
Right.
You weren't prepared, but you're like, you know what? Let's go. I'll do it. you were eating dinner with your family. Like, I'll be there. And Ben Brent, he's playing at the Cassius Culpeper. They're playing at that, I don't know, the place it's in Ocean Springs, old Category 5 building. Something with the orange. I don't know the name of it, but guys, the Category 5 building, that's where it's at. Then Chris Smith and Connor, I am going to be having y'all on a Sunday. It's going to be probably a solo gig. Like I said, I'm going to start doing some like Sunday gigs or whenever I feel gigs. Matt's going to be on like we do like our Monday. We'll do our Monday and Tuesday shows, but I will, if I can get off early enough, definitely be doing some more. I like this, dude.
Right.
It's not really, I figured out that, and this is from Dave Johnson, has Johnson Diesel, Garrett's dad. And he goes, he looked at me and said, you're passionate about, podcasting. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, yeah, I think I am. I enjoy it. I enjoy conversations.
Right.
Because it's fun. I get to hear stories. I get to hear stories about real estate from you. I get to hear like boating stories. And because like a lot of people don't have like sides, like people text now. So people don't sit there and have conversations anymore.
They don't talk.
No.
I mean, look at the kids.
We didn't talk about gas prices once.
No, we didn't.
No,
That's depressing.
Huh?
So we don't need to.
No. And it's not going to go down anytime soon.
Nope.
It's not, I don't know. It's politics are a touchy subject and it's exhausting.
Yep.
I try to avoid it.
I agree.
I had the when I was at an event this weekend, the Bridge Expo, and I had a person approach me about politics, about this person, that person, and I was just like, man, it's a waste to me now. With everything going on, it's like, it's rare to have people that really, really want to do something positive. I think ego is a big part of life, and you look at it in our local government too. And I'm not going to name names on local government. But when you see me and I don't really, communicate with you, then you already know. That's just because I feel sad for like our community and people, because like I'll see people get in these local governments and they're like, I'm going to change the world, and then you see no, it's like it's who's like class favorites. Like no, I never made class favorites, and now I'm in politics, and it hurts a little bit. And I think as we get older, we start paying attention more to it.
Right.
And I just avoid it now.
Right.
That's the only thing to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You can't change anything.
No.
You
just got to vote. You got to vote.
But it's hard.
It is. But I've always had no matter who you represent for or go to bat for, whatever, vote for, as long as you vote, you can complain about it. But if you don't vote, don't complain about it.
The problem is we vote in the same area, same building.
Right.
And I know a lot of people in this area, and I stand out there with a sign. I know they don't vote. Like, I'm that guy. Like, I know you don't vote, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I know you don't vote.
Right.
Like, and that's hard to say with people when I start hearing them talk about politics. I'm like, you don't vote.
Right.
Without saying, I don't say it to them.
I do. I'll ask them point blank. Well, did you vote? Before we have this conversation, did you vote?
That was a hard.
And you can, like I said, you can have your opinion. I've got mine. You've got yours, whatever. I get it. And I'm never going to push or downgrade you for your opinion or whatever. But if you don't vote, don't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it with you.
But so,
because you obviously don't have the respect.
It's a very small percentage of people that vote.
I agree.
It's so small. No, I'm seeing this.
Oh no, I know.
I'm like, nope. Oh no, I know where you live, and I know we have to vote in the same building. I got here at 9. I'm still here. I think I got into politics. I think politics was fascinating. I think there was a point in my life where I was like, I would like to run. And, when I said that, Scott Levenway, and, he's a lobbyist and one of the smartest people. Literally one of the smartest people. I'm very blessed to have him in my life. He built this table we're at. He built this wall. He really believes in me. And when I have problems, I'll go to him about things. And he's always like, he always looked at me and goes, son, no. Like, no.
You don't want to do that.
He's been in 40 years. He goes, mm-mm. And I said, but I want to make a difference. He goes, you can make a difference doing other things. He said, your podcast is already making a difference. And I didn't know until like people really started listening to our show. I don't have to have like this I don't really care if you're like, a lot of people come up and like, oh yeah, nice show. But I'm like, no, but a lot of people come to me like, dude, they're like dive into my episodes and their topics and things like that. And whether it's the Sands Project with Mike Butler and Mac McDonald and the Coliseum, or, you know, us talking about these events, it's like we're leaking this out in the airwaves.
Right.
You know, right now it's Sunday. Probably nobody's gonna be watching on Sunday. But come tomorrow morning, driving to work, somebody's been curious about real estate that's never wanted to come up and talk to you because you are kind of intimidating in the real estate game.
Oh, whatever.
Well, no, not to you, but it is still younger real estate agent. You got to, like, if they don't know you, but know of you. I mean, last year you did well over $10 million in real estate. That's hard to do. I mean, especially in South Mississippi.
Right.
We're not talking every house. I mean, in South Mississippi, like my brother lives in California, his house is 1,800 square foot, 1.2 million.
Right. Their average price, just sales price, is so astronomically more than ours that it's crazy.
Yeah, but you're gonna have a person that comes up to you and be like, and they're gonna talk to you about that, and they're gonna want to talk to you about it because they see you and they see you like, I mean, you win some awards, you got plaques, you got medals. You've already, but the thing is, I know the Randy that, you know, worked at Coke and lost his job over his neck and didn't know what he's going to do and started doing real estate, and you just killed it. But you didn't do it overnight. It was never overnight, except
it's work. It's work.
Because every time I see you, you're always like grinding. You're always on the phone. You're always working.
You have to. And no matter what you do, it doesn't, not just in real estate, but I mean, you've got to.
How'd Marcella how'd she get used to you being on the phone all the time?
You know what? She's very, very supportive. I mean, very supportive.
Is it because it's paycheck?
Could be something to do with that, but no, it's a big joke now where we'll go out to dinner or whatever. And, you know, I'll answer the phone and I'll be talking on the phone. She screenshots it and, you know, she'll post it on Facebook or something like that as a big joke. And, you know, I mean, she understands that, you know, there's a lot of times where I'm not talking on the phone and I can do, you know, whatever, but
what did it feel like to go from how y'all were, I mean, to that, it was paycheck to paycheck feel?
Very,
like, it was tough. I mean, for y'all bought a house very young. I mean,
we did.
And but I'm saying, like, from y'all going like struggling, especially when you got let go of for your injury and you didn't know what to do, how to feed your family. What does it feel like to go from like the old house to, like, I walked your house and I told you, like, me and you're like, dude, come see my house. I'm like, dude, this is insane. Like, and to us, like, you know, people are like, well, I've seen nicer. You really don't know though, because like you don't know where it started,
right?
You know, but I've seen.
I feel very, very, very blessed.
To now, you know, that, like, you know, you don't have to worry about a house note right now. Like, you know, you're at a point though where you work so, like, you're so passionate about real estate that you're on point, and now it's fun to you, and
I enjoy it. Yeah,
and you're bringing on a team. You're bringing on people that are new in the industry, and I think that I thought that was really cool when you're like, I'm starting a team. And knowing you don't have to.
No, I mean, I could have done just on my own but I think honestly, long term, it's going to wear on you a lot quicker if you don't have some kind of structure for help.
But you've always been that person, even before real estate. You always like being that when you have these leadership values. I mean, you've always had these traits. People have them. You have them or you don't have them.
Right.
I mean, because like for me, like when people,
it's part of your personality.
I seen Shay today, this weekend, and Shay shows up. Shout out to Shay Dobson, ex-mayor of Oak Springs, and he rolled up with a nicer Sony camera than mine. It was his first camera, and he didn't even he really didn't understand ISO, but he was learning. But he bought a good camera,
right? But
I sat there while I'm shooting the event, and I'm like teaching him. But I'm not doing it to make fun of him.
No, you're helping.
And I looked at him and I'm like, he's like, I said, you know, I want you to get this. Like, I want to teach you. Like, I want to, when I did photography, nobody wanted to tell me anything.
Right.
Nobody wanted to show me anything about ISO or shutter speed. It's like they hid everything from me.
Right.
If anything, they made fun of me. And to see that with Shay, and then for him to like leave that event with more knowledge, that's all I wanted.
Right.
And I told him, I said, look, I mean, we're all for fun, competitive people, but I told Shay, it's like, I want us to be here.
Right.
I don't want you, you know what I mean? Like, you're running around with your camera is twice as, and we're on the same Sony cameras, but I mean, lenses are important.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I roll around with a G Master. So, I mean, that's a G Master. I mean, but, you know, sitting there like talking to him and he got to have the understanding and, you know, we were laughing and cutting up and we got to share a lot of memories and stuff. And it was cool. Like and I was like, hey man, I looked, I said, look, dude, I said, look, you know, that camera's gonna be nice. You can get away with this. But the whole thing is like me and like, you're not at the level of editing yet. And he's like, come on, man. I was like, I'm just telling you, you know, so learn your camera.
Right.
You know, I learned that's the thing. And that's like a little thing. But I learned the camera. I learned the camera through shooting 500 photos a week.
Right. Well, and the better you know your camera and your equipment, the less editing you have to do on the backside.
It was fun to show him, like, sit there with him, but he really,
he's a good guy.
I know he appreciated it though. I know he like was sitting there like cutting up and laughing with me, but he was appreciating that, like, I'm messing with him the whole time. I mean, I get there and his cameras, he has like he had on his shutter speed was like 1/350. F-stop was 7.2 on a 24 G Master, but the G smaller G Master than I have. And he had the ISO on 25,600. And I'm like, what? Like, we got to get that down. He's like, what do you mean? I said, if you take this footage, you're going to have noise in your footage.
Right.
And he's trying to shoot, like, look, he's got a great idea for his podcast. He's been on our show. He's got a great idea for his show. He wants to do like a Hannity style show and he wants to interview people. And I'm like, look, man, that's great. You know, and any way I can help you, let me help you.
Right.
I think that's what I look at the same way, and kind of like how you look at real estate. Like, if somebody does ask you, if somebody walks up to you and asks you a question, you're going to be honest with them about the industry, but you're going to tell them like, hey man, like, you got to work it. You can't.
Right.
Cause I remember going to real estate class, and I'm not going to name all the names that were in my real estate class, but I mean, a couple that have really made it, but there's a lot of them were like, I mean, they were just doing like, they didn't even say like, I want to sell a house. They're like, I know I can make this amount of money.
Right.
Like, do you?
Well, a lot of people see.
I heard the turnaround times, like turnover times, like people don't make a year.
Typically it's within your first year to 2 years that people will.
Have you seen a lot of people drop that in your, like, working with you?
Oh yeah.
Do they just get discouraged, or they just don't want to put in the work?
I think it's a little bit of both. I
think the hard thing is, I mean, you got to also have people. I mean, you have to be you have to communicate, right?
Yes.
Like, I look at, like, say, like, another thing with photography, like, I can get them photo shots because I can walk up to you, make you laugh, and shoot that shot.
That's it.
If you can't do that, you need a Zoom. You know, that's how I look at it.
Stay away from them.
That's what I was telling Shay. I was like I said, Shay, if you don't want to, you want to build that relationship with them, but if you don't, you need to get a 250. You know what I mean? You could be in that corner and shoot the same thing I shoot.
Right.
But this is, I'm like here. You
Right.
see me every time I shoot like a lot of your photos I shoot. I'm like,
Yep.
I don't know. Is real estate the same way you think?
It is, to an extent. It is. I mean, you have to have the personality to be able to do it. You have to have the drive. And I think that's what some of the people, and ultimately I think it's all about karma. If you're in it for the quick buck, then that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a quick career. I mean, I don't know how else to say it.
How long did it take you to get to the six figures?
What do you mean?
Like, how long did it take you to make six figures? 4 years,
4 years, three and a half, 4 years, somewhere in there.
So, I mean,
4 years.
it's not, you're building a book.
As far as insurance related, is that what you're saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, really, insurance
Yeah.
same way. Brooks has been in, like, I'm kind of cheating right now because Brooks has been in he went to Ole Miss for insurance.
Right.
That's all he knows.
Right.
And he doesn't even know personal.
Right.
He knows only like
Commercial.
like when we first started insurance company, he only knows, like, he did this like first person, like personal with our company.
Right.
And that's just being honest. Like, but commercial, don't go against him in commercial because
Right.
I mean, you can get a deal. Like, he always jokes, like, you can get a deal and it sounds good on paper, but the relationships that he has in commercial, like, he has people that leave and go to a company, and then they're like calling on the phone going, well, after this year, I'm done. Coming right back to you. Like, I just can't. Commercial, you have to have that relationship because when somebody calls, they need it done. Like somebody now with like, you have a lot of return customers.
Yes.
They're like, hey, Randy, I need 4,000 square foot, this, and this. And I don't care if it's Christmas.
Right.
And that's kind of what people don't realize. Like, no, I can't do it because it's Christmas. You're like, all right, well,
they know 3 more. They're calling the next number.
Do you get a lot more? Do you still get new business or you get a lot of?
I do. I got a text message from somebody today that, let's see, it's probably been I've probably known him probably 20 years ago. And it's probably been a good 10, maybe even a little longer since I've seen him. But he's fixing to move back to the area, and he called me and, texted me and said, look, I know you're in real estate. I'm moving back to the area. I'm going to get in touch with you. And I'm looking for this, this, and this. And I said, okay, cool. We'll make it happen.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's just, it's staying top of mind. And you said that about my pictures, having so many of my pictures and this and that. But, a lot of it, I hate social media as much as the next person, but you have to do it.
You have to have social media.
You have to. So, I mean, I do that to stay top of mind, let people know what I do. And I want to be known as, anybody that I have a relationship with, I'd like to be known as the professional that they seek out for any real estate information.
I started using social media, and I think it shows with the podcast, but I've used it always for mental health. I've always like journaled like my depression and stuff, and like send it out. And people are like, you're gutsy for that. I'm like, well, what are you going to do to me?
Right.
I mean, I'm already at True Palsy. I mean, I've already had people like with the show have already told me like several times I suck. I mean, literally have told me like several times I suck. And I'm like, all right, and I hate to say it. And I'll tell Matt this all the time. And I'm like, cause I really don't speak on like, I don't, there's a couple people that annoy me. There's a couple people that like, I've had bad business with that. I don't really have nothing good to say about them. But for the most part, when it comes to like me, I mean, I don't really think on a negative source about that person.
Right.
Like I want them to do better than me. Like
I don't want to
I
dwell on it either, because all it does is negative breeds negative.
Yeah. I want that person to like, look, I'm not a perfect person by no means. This is why I have a podcast. I haven't met a perfect person. Cause I get that like, well, my shows, like I have people all the time, like, like I was going to do a podcast before you and I just hadn't done it. And I'm like, well, I'm do it. Like, I mean, like, but here's the thing too, is like, you're not going to ever be able to copy another person's style or who they are. Like, you're not.
Right.
And I think when I first started this show, I really, I was trying to, I wouldn't say I was trying to like do the show where I felt like I wanted to be more catering to the audience. But then I started wearing myself and I'm like, I can't do this. Like either they're going to like me or not like me.
Right.
And then I started getting, I get a lot of positive comments, but I got a lot of fans, which they're haters. I just learned how to deal with them.
That's it.
And I always tell people all the time, like, you really have or if they have an issue, like if somebody says something bad about you, like Jug used to always tell me, like, I'm just going to call your phone and throw the phone. You tell Randy, don't tell me. Like,
right.
Don't tell me. Because even if I do get frustrated like times where like, I'm not going to sit there and just bash somebody.
Right.
And I hear it all the time and it drives me crazy. And that's why I kind of have to avoid situations. That's why, it's a sad thing. Cause you're like people, you waste so much energy. I mean, I waste a lot of, sometimes I waste energy wanting the best for people.
Right.
And that's just, that's just how life works. But I don't waste energy on like wishing somebody bad.
Right.
Like I said, like I want Shay, like I'm more in competition with myself.
Right.
I'm my worst critic. I think that's in the real estate. I think that's what everything in life.
Everything.
I mean, you're
whether you admit it or not.
Most people don't want to admit it.
Right.
Most people don't want to get on this mic. It sounds good, but when you put yourself out there, I mean, like I said, this is 138.
38.
It's 138 episodes, and like you're going to be on several more times. And there's another thing too, is be like, people are like, why y'all have the same people on a time? Like, well, look, I always believe that we're all characters, and I don't think my friends can tell you their whole life in 2 hours. You just can't.
Nope.
I mean, from the last time you came on, what episode were you when you came on? You were under 100.
Yeah. I think it was in the 70s, I think, but I don't know.
But now, look, I mean, you've jumped up 25% in your business at least. You know what I mean? It's like, and now, like, and you were over there, and it's just like, but I feel like with the show, if like somebody can listen, and it's mainly I love the listening part. Like when people really do listen, like, hey man, I learned a lot through Randy, like about just grinding, and I think that's important. I think if we inspire one person,
job done.
Because people are not going to come up to, they're not going to like,
right.
Everybody shows, nobody's going to say, hey man, I am like, nobody's ever going to come to like, you know, have like confidence is good. Confidence is good, but also it's a shield.
Right.
I mean, real estate's intimidating. That's why I didn't want to do it.
100%.
I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to deal with the, number one, I just don't like people talk. And I tell Matt this all the time. And look, me and Matt get into our stuff, some like, you know, with work stuff, but I can't handle people talking to me in a certain way. I just can't. If you call me and talk down to me, you dead to me. That's how I am. Like, I'm just like, you know what? I don't even know. Like, but the people that I know in my life, like I know your number by heart, always have, but I was like, and it's not like everybody's like, oh, that's an easy number. No, it's been a number I've been knowing for years. I mean, it's 20 years now I've been knowing this number, and there's a reason for it because you keep your good people. That's why you're on the board with me. That's why me and you still in the same circle. But it's like I sit there and I'm like, if you talk to me in a manner now, and now in 2022, people feel like they can now. Right. People can, people come up to me, and I'm not going to name a few names, but I have people that like, and I've told you the story, but I've had in the real estate game, I've had people come up and like, well, I don't, which I know I'm really good at marketing, and I'll say with confidence, I'm very good at marketing because I care about it. That's what I really do. I love it. Right. But I've had people like, well, you can't work with such if you work with, if you're working with me. And I'm like, there ain't no dollar amount you're ever going to put on me that says I can't help my friends when they need me. Right. You just, because that's like, I get you're trying to slow it down, but if you're trying to plug all the things because you think that's the right exit, then you need to reevaluate yourself. Right. Because you might have a good year, but it's all about
next year's a new year.
What kind of person are you?
Right.
What kind of, like, and that's what I see in real estate. Like I see, like, I love a John Carter. Like that. I genuinely like one of the best people, like, especially with me and Emily going through our miscarriage and stuff. Like John didn't leave my side. People don't know that when they see us. Right. Like it's always like, so what with us and Carter's Champions, that's our co-founder kind of situation, but there's always like a wedge trying to, always been this way. Right. Or people always try to get in between me and like in that wedge of our friendship. And you people don't realize like we know this. Right. But at the end of the day, when I'm down and out, he's right there to pick me up, and that's what I admire about our friendship. And that's what makes John a really good real estate agent. John's good at because of the heart. Right. And he's got a heart. I mean, John's probably got one of the biggest hearts I've ever, like, he's one of the sweetest, like he was, like I said, when, with y'all, like y'all have a team that like y'all are just a force to reckon with.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
Do you like downtown Gulfport?
Yes. The only issue I have with downtown Gulfport, well, there's two issues. One of them's not really an issue, but
are we talking city problems? Because I got a number.
Well, there's one of those, but it is what it is. Yeah. The whole parking thing. I'm not used to only being able to stay in a parking lot or a parking spot for 2 hours. So
even if you work for the company, is that a real rule?
Yep. They've got a little parking lady that walks around and they chalk your tire. And if you're over they'll come back in 2 hours. And if you're still there, they'll give you a ticket. It's $25.
You've had it before?
No, not yet. I had my tire chalked.
So where can you park at then?
You have to move your car or you have to come and go, or they've got a couple of parking lots that you can park in.
How far away?
They're not very far.
So right in front of Central 21. You
can only be parked there for 2 hours. It's a 2 hour limit during the day from like 8 to 5.
That is not right. That is the weirdest.
Other than that, though.
No, but that's weird.
My only other issue is they've got a lot of really good restaurants to walk to. So
yeah, but you can't park your car right in front of your work.
I know. But I do like walking to lunch.
I know, but it's like honestly, who goes downtown and just stays there for 2 hours? Right.
Everybody that works there.
What?
No, everybody that works there. That's who's doing it. So they're
I know, but I'm saying most of that downtown area is the workers that work in the downtown area.
100%.
So the people that come visit just need to park in a parking lot.
Right.
That would make more sense to me. I mean, that would make more
Well,
sense because,
you know,
well,
it
no,
is
but,
what it is.
I mean, but that's what brings the traffic. Imagine if Central 21 is not there anymore.
Right.
It's one big building gone with a lot of people
A lot of empty parking spots.
and a lot of like people not going to the restaurants.
Right.
That's huge.
Yep.
How many employees in that building?
Ooh, I think they got 50 something agents, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And
Maybe
all
not
of
that
them
many.
eat out downtown.
All of us.
Yeah.
When we're in the office, we all go to lunch together. We all eat out. Yep.
All right, guys. Well, if you need real estate, Randy, look at the camera right there and just tell them how they can find you.
228-547-9999. Office number is 228-731-3881. If you're looking to sell or buy, I know a guy.
All right.
Looking for a Father's Day gift? Our mattresses don't disappoint.
Mattress by appointment Go Check. No credit financing. We'll put you straight to sleep.